All right, y'all. So the Republican Civil War is still chugging along here. Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently nuked the failed completely House Republican caucus, and she regrets that January 6th wasn't successful. Okay, that's dark. We'll get back to that. This is in Mediaite. Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke in Tunnel Hill, Georgia on Monday night and dropped a series of rhetorical bombs, which were quickly picked up on by both Democrats and political journalists. Greene pulled no punches in attacking House Speaker Mike Johnson. She's had it out for this guy for a while now, the new speaker. And the Republican House majority she is part of. Quote, a Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, brought that very bill to the floor, passed with the Democrats. He did not have a majority of Republicans, Greene fumed, regarding the $1.2 trillion spending package that passed the House last month. Greene has vowed to continue with her effort to file a motion to vacate the speakership and remove Johnson from his position. Greene slammed Johnson for how he brought the bill to the floor and noted that the GOP-led House has had its fair share of dysfunction this year. Quote, we have bitter battles with one another, she said, but I want you to know that anyone who serves in leadership in America should be prepared to battle for what is right. We should be prepared to fight it out with one another. We should be prepared to find common ground. Please, she's never found common ground in her life. We should be prepared to hold the line and do what's right, to do what our voters want us to do. But that has not happened in this Congress. As a matter of fact, our Republican majority has failed completely. Okay, so let's see. I think there's a couple clips here. First, let's listen to this one.
We should be prepared to hold on and do what is right, to do what our voters sent us to do. But that has not happened this Congress. As a matter of fact, our Republican House majority has failed completely.
So that's pretty scathing. And then here's the January 6th comment.
If I had it my way, we would have impeached him a long time ago.
That never would have fucking, it's not possible for that to work. You don't have the numbers. So you just impeach him through the House. If you're lucky, it'll get through the House. It probably won't. They don't have the numbers really to do it. But let's just say it does for argument's sake. It dies in the Senate immediately, and then Joe Biden gets a round of positive headlines about how he's Teflon and he survived the impeachment thing, just like what happened with Trump, what the Democrats did with Trump. Anyway, that's not even the big part of it.
Actually, if I had it my way, we would have been successful in our objection on January 6th, and he wouldn't even be president. I'm getting better, though. We'll get there.
So let's think about what she's actually saying here, because this is important. Her point is, I wish we succeeded on January 6th. Oh, really? Well, what would succeeding on January 6th be? Well, she just told you. Biden never becomes president. We keep Trump in there. So in other words, I wish our coup worked. I wish we successfully completed the coup and stole Joe Biden's rightful seat from him. By the way, play this for anybody who says January 6th was not a coup attempt or was not an insurrection. She is telling you I supported it, and it was that. Because the end result that I wanted, which was the goal, was to keep Trump in there and not let Joe Biden get the seat, even though he won it. So she's saying it's a coup. She's saying it's an insurrection. This is her point. Look, I actually want to give props to her for honesty, because there's a lot of people out there who are really fucking weaselly about this. And they say, no, it wasn't a coup attempt. It wasn't an insurrection. Really? Then what were they trying to do? What was the fake elector scheme or fraudulent elector scheme? By the way, they use that terminology internally with each other. They were saying it was a fraudulent elector scheme. What was that about? Puppies and rainbows? Did they want to make it so, yeah, Biden still gets in office, but we're going to push him to the right or something? No, they wanted Trump to stay in office. Definitely a coup attempt. Definitely an insurrection. It just failed. Okay. So there's that. But then on the Mike Johnson thing, guys, I got to be honest with you. As somebody on the left, I love to see this. Why? Because of people like Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert, and clearly Marjorie Taylor Greene now too. They were the ones, Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz were the ones who, drove the ship in ousting McCarthy, right? And I loved it because it created chaos on the right, and it meant they had no unity, they couldn't govern, they couldn't do shit. And that precedent has now been laid. We're going to have the rogue actors. We're going to have the people who want to virtue signal and get the social media likes, and they're just going to tank everything we try to do. Because we can't do any serious governing work, because anytime you do anything, they'll immediately call you a sellout and try to take you down, right? So that's what happened with McCarthy. Now we have Mike Johnson there. Now Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing to Mike Johnson what Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz did to McCarthy. She's like, I will now play the role of the Matt Gaetz or the Lauren Boebert because she was pro-McCarthy, and since McCarthy's been ousted, she's been bitter. And so now it's like she's filed a number of times to try to get Mike Johnson kicked out of there as a speaker. And it's the same arguments that were made effectively by Gaetz the last time around for McCarthy. He's a sellout. He's selling us out. He's not doing the right thing, et cetera, et cetera. That's the argument. And it's like, oh my God, there was a bill that he worked with the Democrats. He's the Speaker of the House. By definition, he has to work with the Democrats. You have a fucking like 1-seat majority. You have to work with it. And then you got the Senate, which is Democratic. You got the presidency, which is Democratic. You do realize it's not possible to not work with Democrats on this, right? Just don't, the basic governance shit, just any of it is just like, no, I'm against it. Okay, well, again, I love it. Because what does that show? They're going to be at each other's throats fucking now until forever. They can't get shit done. And all they have is social media and virtue signaling. And rile up the morons to be like, yeah, you go get it, Marjorie. You're one of the good ones. Okay, let me know how that goes. It ain't going to work out well. But the Republican Civil War clearly heating up even more. I wonder eventually if this attempt to take down Mike Johnson will work. But yeah, those January 6th comments, man. They're letting you know who they are and what they believe in. Take them at their word. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now.